What is going on, everybody? Chris Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media coming at you live tonight, bringing back my Off the Court show. Figured as we get closer to March Madness, I'd get into this show a little bit more, man. I really need to figure out a schedule, not for long term or this whole year or to stick to for the rest of this, channel's life or what, but for I don't know how long. I guess the football off season or what I could work with right now. I got to figure out a schedule. I want to get back to doing off the court more. A show where we talk all things college basketball, NBA, and then I want to get back to the Foul Out, which is my MLB show. We talk things in terms of mainly MLB baseball. I figured, I was kind of thinking as I was thinking about doing an episode of this show tonight, and I thought about, I want to get into my baseball show as well. I'm like, okay, maybe I can get into some more, uh, maybe get into some college baseball, college World Series, the rankings, stuff like that, because those people turn pro eventually. Those players go pro. So I don't know. A lot of stuff coming to the channel. It's not just football over here. We talk basketball, baseball, got some volleyball stuff I want to work on. Honestly, I know that might sound crazy. Like, who the heck cares for that? I don't know. I'm just a sports guy in general. And trying to be a sportscaster, you got to work with what you got. You got to get into as much as possible because look, the main goal for me, I want to be a college football analyst or something, maybe baseball, whatever. But you can't control where you always end up. You can control what you do about it. Steve Harvey says life is, what's it, 90% what happens to you, or maybe I've heard it both ways. Not a psych pun, or it is a psych pun, but not intended to be. But uh, um, 90% life's 90% what happens to you, 10% how you handle it, or mainly the other way around. 10% of it, the small majority, what comes your way in life, what happens to you, and then the majority is how you react, how you respond. So you never know what's going to come your way in life. So yeah, I guess so. I'll be taking questions if you guys want to talk some basketball. Um, so any basketball questions you have, type them in the chat. Let me know. We'll look at the NBA power rankings. We'll talk about the SEC and how my Crimson Tide, it's theirs to lose. Is it, though? I mean, seriously. Let's look at the standings here, folks. I can't share a screen. I'm trying to save up my StreamYard hours for stuff like maybe the show with Uncle Lou or Unprofessional Sports Show or whatever. I have been doing quite a few streams recently. Plus, I'm not even planning on getting you guys on here anyway. But let me find the SEC here. Okay. So in the SEC, obviously, it's all the teams we're familiar with in football, right? It's Bama, Auburn, Florida, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. We know all the teams, right? A&M, South Carolina, Auburn, Ole Miss, Georgia, right? SEC is not very good this year. Not really. I mean, Alabama, who was one of, like, just last week or whatever, was one of the only teams ranked in the SEC. Seriously. Alabama's ranked at number 11, right? They're 11-1 in conference play, 16-5 overall, right? Then the next team, this team's in the top 10. Missouri's in the top 10, 6-3 in conference play, 13-3 overall this year. How does that make sense? Quality wins, quality losses, right? It's who you play in head-to-head competition, right? It's almost like it's almost like the AP Top 25 poll in basketball is kind of like how the committee determines how the rankings and everything works. So, that being said, let me see here. Looking at the SEC, is it Bama's to lose right now? Seriously, is it? I mean, now that I look at it, maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you want to sit there and say, yeah, it's Bama's to lose. Look at how they've been all year. Look how consistent. Look how this. Look how that, right? Up until now, they lost some games early, some non-conference games, right? Then they get into conference play. They go on like a 6 or 7 game win streak. They're on a roll. They're balling out. They're playing hard and well. They're playing good. They just won tonight, just now. So they lose, and this was it. Missouri beat them, right? Alabama was on like a 10-plus game winning streak, right? 10-plus games. What are they winning? Like 14 in a row or something? It was insane. They ran through the SEC, right? They beat Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida, Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State, Kentucky again. And then they go to Norman, Oklahoma and lose to the Sooners, who was ranked 24 at the time. And they only lost by 5, so it's not so much a bad loss. Alabama, I think, was ranked like number 9. Then, of course, the loss dropped them a couple spots or something like that. Or they have a bounce-back win against LSU at home. They go on the road at Missouri, who's ranked number 18 at the time, and they lose by 3, 68-65, right? Then they just beat, let's see, this was tonight's game, I think. Let me see here. Load. Here we go. Yes. Tonight, they just got done with the game, wrapped it up, beat South Carolina on the road, 81-78. They led by 3 at the half, 39-36, and both teams put up 42 points in the second half. But Bama won the game by 3, right? They hold them off, right? Bounce back win for them after losing just the other night, just last week. John Petty had the highest for Alabama, scoring 20 points in this game. 3 of 3 on free throws. Now he was, for his field goals or whatever, 7 of 15. That could have been a little bit better. That probably could have helped Bama maybe get some more points if he had made a couple more. But it helped him out quite a bit. It really did. So, I mean, Alabama's getting back in shape, getting back on a roll, getting back to winning like they need to, right? They're getting back on track. So, anyway, I want to go ahead and see who all's in here. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. What's up, Lenny the Gump Summers, TikTok Chess Hall, Nate the Depressed Wolverine fan. What's up, buddy? What's up, Bet? Shannon Mitchell, Sea Dog Morgan. What's going on, man? How you doing? And then JW13120, JW1230 says, I'm a Bama fan and they're slipping. Welcome to the stream, sir. And Roll Tide. But yeah, I would agree, man. They are, man, they're not doing too hot. Now, good for them that they're still atop, the SEC and everything. But that, I mean, what does that matter? That's great and all. But if they can't keep the momentum going into March, right? And we're here February 9th. SEC tournament. When does that start? Early March at some point, right? Let me see. (2021) SEC men's basketball tournament. March 10th through 13th. So like a month from tomorrow. Right? And quite honestly, actually, a month from tomorrow. Because you know how it is with February, it being actually 28 days. Like the 7th is the first Sunday of February. It's also the 1st of March, right? That's just it is how it is. If it were a leap year, it'd be a little different. But anyways, so yeah, literally 4 weeks from tomorrow, a month from tomorrow, is when it starts, right? For the SEC tournament. So you got a month, Bama, Kentucky, and here's the thing. It's literally a every man for himself. Rankings don't matter. Record doesn't matter. When you play the SEC tournament, right? Now, obviously, Bama's got quality wins, right? South Carolina's 5-8. They're 3-6 in conference play. That's not good look for them, right? It's really not. You win the SEC, you have a case for March Madness to get in the round of, what is it, 64, then 32, the 16, and work your way, right? Everyone just plays. It's the ultimate tournament. Every man for himself. Everyone is put on there. I don't care what the seasons look like. You could have had the worst and most crappiest year. You have a chance at least for your conference and resume and everything. They'll look at that. They'll look at that. Who's at the let me see something here. Who's at the bottom of the SEC? Vandy's at the bottom. If Vandy somehow wins the SEC tournament, they would have to beat a team like maybe LSU, Tennessee, Alabama. Might not be all of those, but they'll beat someone in that range at some point. That's a quality win. That it'd be like, okay, I don't know what happened to you, Vandy. You went from being a 1-17 and 1-17 in conference play to beating up on an 11-1 or a 6-5, and I you get it, right? They look at resumes, they look at all that stuff. So there's still hope for Bama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Florida, Georgia, and on and so on, right? There's still hope for all that. But I think right now, Bama in the driver's seat for the SEC. It's theirs to lose. They're not only at the top of it and ahead of everybody, they're like ahead of everybody. Who's second? Missouri. Now they're ranked number 10, and sure, Bama's 11-1 in conference play. Missouri's 6-3. Okay. Well, Bama's obviously, played more SEC games, right? Overall record is 16-5. Missouri is 13-3. Overall record, Missouri has a better one. But if you want to just look at conference play, which is what you're trying to do, it is like these are basically warm-up games, playing conference teams before the conference tournament. This is warm-up and practice. You know what I'm saying? Right? Oh, we beat Auburn. Okay, well, you might have to face them again in the SEC tournament. Right? You might have to do that. What's up, Neo? How you doing, man? You don't sit there and get all cocky because you just beat this team or that team that's ahead of you. That's good and all. But we're not at the SEC tournament at the moment. That's not where we're at. We're still in the regular season. You could lose every single game. Right? You lose every game on your conference schedule, not win a single conference game, and you get a couple cupcake wins outside of conference play, right? Let's say that's a scenario for a team like Vanderbilt. Now, they're actually pretty good in basketball. They're okay. I don't know. Let's say it's Vandy. They lose every conference game, right? They lose every game in their conference schedule. But they run the table in the non-conference schedule, playing a team like nobody Tech or nobody State. Who gives a crap where they are? You didn't win a single conference game. You're going to lose the SEC. Oh, well. But they run the table and they win the SEC. They didn't win a single conference game until they got to the SEC tournament, right? And they're the SEC champs. What's that say about Vandy? Are they a terrible team? No, it means they turned it around late. Somehow. I don't know how they did it, but they did. As I find out they're cheating or something. I don't know. So a lot's at stake, but it's still up for grabs for pretty much everybody. But at this point, I think it's safe to say, and again, this isn't being biased, this is straight up facts, right? They only got like one loss in the SEC. Bama's at the top of it. It's incredible to see what Nate Oates is doing in year 2 with this program. It's Bama's to lose right now. It's Bama's to lose, right? It seriously is. They're 11-1, and the next best team is a 6-3 Missouri team. 6-3. Bama's right there at the top, right? They are more consistent this year. Because, see, I remember last year with Nate Oates, and I don't want to say I was complaining about it. I was giving props to the fact that they had a new head coach. Things are going to happen. This guy came from Buffalo to the SEC, and it was tough for him. And I said, he's just inconsistent. The team's inconsistent. It was two things that they needed to work on, right? And I think I got it down this year. Consistency in terms of streaks and winning and losing, and then finishing games, last minute wins and stuff. Now, have they gotten a whole lot of buzzer beaters and stuff like that? No, but they've had some games where they've rallied in the final few minutes, and it's like, they're up by 3 with maybe 5 minutes to go. Oh, John Petty with the 3-pointer. Oh, here's a 2-pointer, free throw or something. And, when it looks like the game could get out of hand, they seem to find their rhythm a little bit, extend the score, put some more points up, and just, find ways to keep control of the game and kind of close it out. I'm very impressed with what Alabama has done this season with Nate Oates in year 2. So there's that. I think the SEC is Bama's to lose. I'll also be taking any questions you guys have about basketball. Put them in there, and I'll answer them. Want to go ahead and look at real quick. Let's look at the power rankings for the NBA. And again, I can't share screen share or anything, but I want to look at the standings where we're at with all this. I did a game the other night, which went pretty well. I appreciate everyone who showed up for the Celtics and Clippers live stream. Celtics 12-10, third in the Eastern Conference, just behind the Sixers and Milwaukee. The Clippers, who they played, are 17-8, and they are third in the Western Conference. How about this, man? Only because the Lakers have one extra loss, but they're tied with wins. Utah Jazz at the top, folks. Let's look at Utah, what they've done this year, man. They, I guess, their previous game was at the Pacers, and they had at the Hornets, at the Hawks, and home against the Pistons. They have won their last 4 ever since they lost on the road to the Nuggets. Oh, you gotta be kidding me with this. I'm just gonna rip on me for this beat. Kentucky just lost, says JW. Yeah, I think I saw that. Um, Nikola Jokic had 47 points. 47 points the other night. And the Nuggets 128 to 117 over the Utah Jazz. Let me see here. Right. So that was like a few nights ago, and as you know, like NBA teams are going to play multiple teams a week, maybe one or two. Sometimes every night. I don't know. So the Northwest standings, right? Utah, Portland, Denver, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, right? Utah's on a 4-game win streak. They got some momentum here. Let me go back to the standings. Let's see. Yeah, Kentucky is pretty bad this year, which is honestly surprising to me. I mean, they're like the cream of the crop in the SEC. They're like right there. They're the team, you know. I mean, so it's kind of crazy how the tables have turned in a conference like the SEC this year. It's like the teams that you expect to be good aren't, and the teams that you expect to be at least average or middle of the line are right there at the top, like Alabama. Auburn even doesn't even look good this year. Bruce Pearl, I think, is a great head coach. Where was I? Oh, okay. So let's start over here. Sixers, Bucks, Celtics, Nets, Pacers, Hornets, Atlanta Hawks, and Raptors. Your top 8 teams who still have a shot at the playoffs for the Eastern Conference. And then for the Western Conference, Utah, Los Angeles, LA, Clippers, the Phoenix Suns, the Spurs, the Trailblazers, the Kings, and the Nuggets, the top 8 for the Western Conference. Now, Golden State is right there. Denver Nuggets, 12 and 11. Golden State Warriors, 12 and 12. They got guys like Clay and Steph back. They were down at the bottom last season, man. The Mavericks are 11 and 14. They're not looking too good with Donich. Man, it's crazy. It really is. What happened to Georgia? I don't know, man. I really don't. 5 and 6 in conference play. I really don't. But there's 5 and 6 conference play. They're 12 and 6 overall. They got a win streak of 3 though. Georgia's on a win streak. But who had they played is the question. Let me look at Georgia this year. Ole Miss, Auburn, and Vandy. They play Tennessee on the road tomorrow. Tennessee is ranked number 16 and third in the SEC overall. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know really. They were good last year. Yeah, they were. They were on a roll. I did a stream last season for Bama and Georgia, and I think Georgia ended up winning that game. And Bama had a fair chance, I think, too. Um, they put some points up. Man, what was the score of that game? Hold on. I think they scored 100 something points. I don't know. Let me go back on my channel and figure out because I had the. Let me see. Georgia versus Alabama. I'll find it on here. Um, yeah, here we go. I did this like a year ago. Man, time flies on my channel, man. I'm telling you. I look back. I remember doing this game too. Did it for like 2 hours. Um, yeah, this was a year ago yesterday, actually, February 8th. So what do you know? Um, I think Georgia won this game. Let me see. Because I had the score up. It was really close. 105 to 102 Bama. They lost. Bama won at 105 to 102 is what I had. Um, Anthony Edwards left. That's why UJ. Anthony Edwards is good, man. Yeah, he got drafted #1, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken. That's really held Georgia back, but they gave Bama a game last year, 105 to 102. At least what I'm looking at here. I don't remember exactly how all of it went down, but I did a whole stream reacting to it. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, they're not. Yeah, losing Anthony Edwards though, just it's you know, it hurts Georgia, I think. So. So anyway, you guys got any basketball questions? Put them in the chat, and I'll happily read them. But yeah. So we went through the power rankings for the NBA. It's Bama still is in the SEC, but there's a couple teams that could sneak up, I think, and obviously a lot could happen with maybe Kentucky or Auburn. Maybe they get back to finding their rhythm as we enter the month of March, or I know that's weeks away, but we'll get closer and closer to that. Maybe these next few games, next couple weeks, maybe they find their momentum and rhythm. Maybe someone trips up Bama in the SEC tournament. We don't know, but I think it's Bama to lose. And obviously, we went through the NBA standings, power rankings. Um, I don't know, was a team like the Warriors with Steph and Clay or whatever could sneak up and maybe get in the Western Conference playoffs or whatever, the semifinals, quarterfinals, whatever. And I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to end up being maybe the Bucks and the Lakers. I think I had that last year, whatever. But I don't know. The Jazz are on a good roll, winning 4 games, win streak of 4. And of course, Lakers are the Lakers with LeBron or whatever. But Matt K, what's going on, buddy? Perfect warm up to Uncle Lou after dark, right? Hey, what's up, Dennis Wilson? Big national champ Ballard. What's up, buddy? What's up, Dennis? How you doing, brother? I'll make you a moderator on here, sir. You've earned it. You're good people. So got some hockey going on. It looks like Tampa Bay is up 3-1 against the Predators, the defending Stanley Cup champions. But yeah, we got also got the top 25 of college basketball here. Gonzaga, of course, Baylor, Michigan. Those are the teams you look at. But the top 2 in general, I made a video the other day. Baylor's on a great win streak. They just got so much talent. Gonzaga's a basketball. I like to think of them as the Alabama football, but of basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're just there, right? And we keep seeing them number one week after week after week, and they just can't. I don't want to say they're unbeatable or can't be stopped, but it's you definitely got to put on a performance if you want to, stop them. 17 game win streak for number 2 Baylor. Big 12's having a really great year. Texas Tech, who was in the Final Four a couple years ago, made it to. I think they played Virginia in the title game, which I guess is Virginia. Since we didn't have March Madness last year, is Virginia? Is it safe to say they're still the defending champs right now? I guess. I mean, they're the last to win it. So, but remember, Texas Tech played Auburn a couple years ago. There was that controversial. I don't know if it was I guess on like a foul or something. It was very controversial. Auburn fans were pissed off about it and just kind of lost their cool. And it's like, go check replay. Look at this. I don't remember what it was, but if someone can remember exactly what happened in that game, let me know. Hey, what's up, Lizard Circus? How you doing? Yeah, you got Baylor at 2, Texas Tech at 7, Oklahoma's at 12. They're 12-5. Then you got Texas at 13. Texas is 11-5 on the year, 5-4 at conference play. And then who was that? West Virginia at 14, and then Oklahoma State at 23. So about half the Big 12 is ranked right now. You got 6 teams out of. They actually have 10. How do you have 10 teams in the Big 12 conference in basketball? Who are they missing in this conference that's also the Big 12 in football? Who do they not have in here? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it. We got man, in the first, tied at 22. Top 25 matchup, Texas Tech tied at 22 with West Virginia, number 14. That's looking good. Almost the end of the first half or whatever. 62-48, Texas up over Kansas State. Creighton at 19, beating Georgetown 22-17 in the first. That's interesting there. We got, I think Georgia Tennessee is going to be good tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Missouri, number 10, plays unranked Ole Miss at 9. Keep my eye on that. Missouri's only a 1.5 point favorite. Tennessee, dude, this says a lot either about Tennessee or maybe how much they don't like Georgia. Tennessee's a 13-point favorite over the Bulldogs tomorrow night. Virginia's the defending champs. At least they were the last we saw to win it. Remember, ranked number 9, they play Georgia Tech tomorrow night. What's up, Lenny the Gump? Summer says Texas Tech played MSU. UVA played the Barn, and Kyle got fouled on a three. That's what happened. You're talking about the Final Four from last year. That's right. Yeah, and it ended up being Texas Tech and Virginia, and Virginia won. See, the championship wasn't really controversial. That was fair. It was what happened in the playoffs in the Final Four. Um, played the Barn, and Kyle Guy got fouled. Okay. With under a second. That's right. Yeah. It was like right there last minute, too. And there was a foul on the play. And like you're saying, I mean, it's like, they pretty much got screwed, is what happened. Yeah. But defending champs of Virginia, 13-3 on the year. That's not bad. 9-6 Georgia Tech team. They play tomorrow night at 7. Virginia has a 77.4% chance to win. They're favored by 4, and the over/under is 128.5 points. Probably take the under. I don't know. I guess they expect a lot of points in this game. I don't know, but so if anyone has any basketball questions, feel free to type them out. I'll answer them for you. But yeah, so we got couple SEC teams ranked. My Crimson Tide are leading the way, 11-1 in conference play, and 16-5 overall on the year. And their losses really came early, but again, they got off to a really good roll when they started to play in conference up until up until the other night, and again they lost just the other night to Missouri, which is not a bad loss. Missouri was ranked; they're a good team. So, and Ohio State in basketball is looking really good. How cool would it be? How cool would it be to see Alabama and Ohio State in the championship for men's basketball this year after we just saw them play in college football? That actually would be pretty cool. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. I think once Bama, I'm not picking them to win the championship, although I think they got the talent. But once you get out of that comfort zone of playing in the SEC, they can win the SEC. I don't want to say no problem or handily, but they could do that. And then they get to like the what's the first 64 or 32 or whatever the heck they get to March Madness. Someone's going to trip them up, I think. I don't know. I'm not losing confidence or faith in my team. I'm just saying I don't know if I want to bet on Nate Oates to win a championship in his second year, although he could come close. And if he keeps it up, keep recruiting, he's going to win a championship with Alabama in basketball at some point. I promise you that. Nate Oates is going to win a championship with Alabama, and it'll be their first ever in school history, a basketball championship. I've already done the research, and from what I understand, they've never won March Madness, right? They never the best they made it to, I think, was an Elite Eight. I don't remember who it said they lost to, but I don't think they've even made a Final Four. We'll see. We'll see though. But I mean, give him a couple years, he'll win Bama a championship, right? Avery Johnson, the talent's been there. When Avery Johnson was there, he was a great recruiter, but he just could not get it done. He could not coach. He could not win the SEC. Right? Petty and Kyron, all they were there with Avery Johnson before Nate Oates got there. They had the talent. They needed leadership. Right? It was a lack of leadership and coaching style. But Nate Oates comes in, man. He's got this great plan. He's from Buffalo, New York, and he built a great program at Buffalo. All he ever wants to talk about is, we were up in Buffalo, no disrespect to Nate Oates. I love Nate Oates. Good human being, faithful man. Give him a lot of credit and love. But, I mean, I can't recall. I mean, he always talks about, at least when he first got here, like his introductory conference, which I can understand that. You want to talk about what you've done. But even like post game interviews, it's like, yeah, we also struggle with this at Buffalo. I'm like, well, it's not Buffalo, coach. I mean, but I don't know, man. I love Nate Oates. I think he's done a great job, and for him to get the team ranked for the first time in a couple years and be at the top of the SEC in only year two is incredible. What we're seeing, I don't want to say they're building a dynasty like um, Kentucky or whoever in basketball. I don't want to sit there and say that, but they're on the verge. They're getting pretty close to trying to do that, I think. And I think if he keeps it up with recruiting and coaching, and if this isn't just this year's type of thing, go into next November with the same mindset and attitude and everything, and get the team ranked, get them competing and winning like they are right now, coach. Do that. Be consistent with it. Seriously. I hope it's not a 1 year deal. But anyway. Lenny the Gump Summers says is legit in B-ball. Yeah. Is that Michigan you're talking about? I'm not sure. Matt K says Bama will lose in the Sweet 16, I think. Okay. I could see that. I mean, I just hope we don't. It needs to be a team we're losing to, Gonzaga or something. You put us up against that and we come close to beating Gonzaga or Baylor or whoever. I mean, that'd be crazy. I'm not calling him Saban, JW. I'm just gonna call you JW. I don't care. I'm not calling him Saban. I'm not gonna sit there and do that. I don't like comparing. And see, I thought about making a video about this yesterday. I didn't. But why do we compare? I saw on First Take, Max Kellerman was talking about Tom Brady. And he wanted to compare him to like Michael Jordan. And I can understand that in terms of they're the best in their sport, they're at the top of the game, right? But put a football player on a basketball court, give him the ball and see what he does, and then vice versa. Give a freaking basketball player a football, see if he can chuck it 90 yards downfield or run with it or tackle or do something. Why do we compare athletes that aren't even in the same sport? I understand greatness and everything like that. I get it. But seriously, why do we compare athletes that play different sports? That doesn't make any sense. You want to compare, you know, if you want to compare a guy like Michael Jordan to maybe Kobe Bryant or go back all the way to Larry Bird or this guy or that, you want to do that, that's fine. That makes sense because they're all basketball players, right? You want to compare Tom Brady to someone like Joe Namath or Stabler or, go all the way. I mean, football players, quarterbacks. Makes sense to compare a guy to someone who's played his position in his sport, right? But it just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy. Why do we? I don't understand comparing a basketball player to a football player like that. Let me find something. I hate to share stuff I post on Facebook because I know that's all like I don't get into like my personal Facebook or anything like that, and I'm not. But let me see. What did I? And I got some good responses on this too. But this is what I typed out, right? And people were saying LeBron's nowhere near Brady, and LeBron's great, but he's not Tom Brady or anything, right? And I said this. I said I understand that Tom Brady is the GOAT in football, LeBron James in basketball, and well deserved. But what I don't understand is trying to compare the two athletes and determining who is better between the two. It's two different athletes that play two different sports. Of course, Tom Brady plays football in the NFL, LeBron James in basketball with the NBA. They are the best in their own sport, but determining who's better who's the better athlete is just ridiculous. And then I kind of said this, and I mean what I say, but I'm like, why don't you give LeBron a football and then give Brady a basketball so we can end the debate? Like seriously, put a basketball in Brady's hands, see if he can shoot it, see if he can run down the court with it and dunk that thing. And then give LeBron a football and have him throw to a receiver like Randy Moss or Mike Evans or Watkins or whoever the heck, right? Seriously. I mean, it's crazy. Hold on just one second, folks. I want my computer to die. There we go. Didn't realize my battery was low there. Charge it up a bit. Dennis Wilson, what's going on, buddy? Just want to debate anything these days. Yeah, man. I mean, where did I see Max Kellerman on First Take was the guy that I heard it from because they were obviously talking about the Super Bowl, what Tom Brady's done. It's great, but it's like, is he better than Michael Jordan? And what? Why are we gonna compare? What is he better? I don't know. Is he better than the basketball player over here? Is this football quarterback better than the point guard or whatever? Like two completely different sports. Lenny the Gump Summer says it's not about rings either. Yeah. I mean, in terms of championships, I could get that, but, you know, I guess maybe that's what they were getting at, right? I don't know. Maybe not, because it didn't seem that way. I just don't understand all this here, It's crazy. Oh, and then I saw this. Then I saw this today. I shared. They were talking this morning. Of course, they'll be talking about the Super Bowl all week long, right? That's what they do on First Take, right? And the question for First Take this morning, the debate topic was this the best postseason run by a QB ever? Talking about Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, right? That's not saying is he the best. This is more so, is it the best we've seen for a postseason run, right? Marcus Spears lost his cool on Max Kellerman. Jaw dropped, hit the floor because Max Kellerman said, you can make a case for it, but let me take you a step further and go to Eli Manning with the Giants. Oh my gosh. I love Max Kellerman, but my goodness, man. I'm not sure if you guys can hear this. I think the 27 or 2007 Giants had a better one just because of the Lambeau game. Okay. I respect your opinion. I do. Right. I do. But Marcus Spears was making the case this morning about like it's a global pandemic and Brady took a team that was 7-9 and he had no off season and he took them to 11-5 and a Super Bowl win, right? And I'm like, that's a good case. No off season, no training camp, no practices, right? None of that. It's crazy. There's a lot of debate topics or whatever. I don't know, but you guys get it. I mean, I really don't care a whole lot. It's interesting to talk about and think about and everything, but outside of that, man, it's just crazy. These debate topics, man. It's wow. I don't know. What? What's up, dog? Come here. Come here. Oh man, Arkansas just in beats Kentucky 81-80 at Rupp Arena. Go and get. Go and get. Come on. Oh. But anyways, so I don't know. I really don't have a whole lot else. We talked some college basketball, some March Madness, what's going to happen. We talked um, NBA power rankings. Who is it to lose? You know, right? Like who's at the top? Who's got everything at stake? Right? Is it Bama's to lose in the SEC? Most likely so. We will definitely see. I'm pulling for my Crimson Tide, as you guys know that. But anyway, I love all you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It looks like Uncle Lou's calling show is going to start soon. I always want to call up and talk to him. So I'll go ahead and get off here. Thanks so much for joining me tonight for an episode of Off the Court. Probably, I don't know if I want to do another one this week or maybe do next Tuesday or whatever. Get back to doing this show a little bit more as we get closer to March Madness. A lot of stuff to discuss in college basketball and of course the NBA. That always ends in like what, May or June. So we still got a couple more months of that as well. But anyway, appreciate Lenny the Gump Summers, Dennis Wilson, Matt K, JW13120, whatever, a lot of numbers. Nate the Depressed Wolverine fan, Lizard Circus, Neo, Shannon Mitchell. Appreciate everyone for showing up. Love all you guys. Have a good night. And as always, roll tide, roll. We'll see you. Please like, comment, and subscribe as well. I appreciate that. Love you guys. Have a good night. Roll tide.